I am Ellie, 32 years old, working as a creative planner at an advertising agency in Brooklyn, New York, raising my 7-year-old daughter Emily alone in this vast city. 3 years ago, a sudden hurricane struck our small apartment on the Jersey Shore, a place filled with memories. While I was rushing through an important project at work, a neighbor called, saying floodwater had already entered the building, and I needed to come back immediately. So I ran home in panic, heart racing with dread. When I arrived, half the apartment was already submerged, furniture floating, walls soaked, everything we built, together slowly disappearing under dark, rising water before my eyes. We escaped with just one backpack, holding Emily's clothes, my wallet, and work documents, while she cried uncontrollably, clinging tightly to me in fear and confusion. We stayed in a crowded temporary shelter for days, filled with noise and strangers, where Emily woke up crying from nightmares almost every night, trembling beside me. I called my parents, Tom and Ruth, who lived comfortably in Connecticut, asking if we could stay temporarily, explaining we had nowhere safe to go at all. My mother coldly refused, saying their house was under renovation and inconvenient for guests, even as I begged her, telling her Emily was terrified and we were desperate. She repeated the same excuse and hung up, leaving me staring at my phone, realizing in that moment that even family could abandon you when you needed them most. I felt completely alone, but I could not collapse, not with Emily depending on me. So I forced myself forward, searching endlessly for jobs and affordable housing online. Eventually, I secured a modest position at a Brooklyn advertising company, with lower pay but enough to survive, and we rented a small, worn-out single room nearby. The space was cramped and old, but we decorated it together, turning it into something warm, trying to rebuild a sense of home from almost nothing we had left. Just when life began stabilizing, disaster struck again at work, where I led a major project, investing weeks of effort into a creative proposal that gained initial approval. My colleague Jack, who always envied my abilities, secretly altered my work and claimed all the credit, then accused me of incompetence when our boss questioned the results. I presented original drafts and revision records to defend myself, and although the truth emerged, I was still criticized for delays, leaving me deeply frustrated and exhausted. Soon after, I discovered my parents had secretly given my inheritance to my brother Ben, despite the will clearly stating that I was entitled to a fair share. They argued that I was independent while Ben needed financial support for his business, accusing me of being selfish when I confronted them, completely dismissing my feelings. That moment shattered any remaining trust I had, and I decided to rely only on myself, dedicating everything to improving my skills and building a future without them. At an industry networking event, I met a renowned creative director who recognized my talent and invited me to join his team, opening a completely new path forward. In that environment, I worked on major campaigns, proved my capabilities, and steadily advanced, earning better income until Emily and I moved into a safe, comfortable two-bedroom apartment. This year, Emily's school hosted a parent-child event, and together we created a model called our dream home, pouring our hearts into every detail of that small project. During the event, seeing her smile proudly beside our work filled me with a deep sense of peace, something I had not felt in years after everything we endured. Then my parents suddenly appeared, watching us with mixed shock and guilt, as my mother approached me, but I turned away, no longer willing to reopen old wounds. That night, Emily asked why I ignored them, and I told her gently that real family stands by you in your darkest moments, not when everything is already over. She nodded softly and said she loved our home and holding her tightly. I realized that despite everything, we had finally built something real, something unbreakable together.